Greetings from my corner to yours. The sun is shining. When I woke up this morning, it was a little bit cold, so I actually put on a jumper. And then I came to sit down and thought, oops, I think I've got that season wrong. So, it's a wonderful new day. It's actually full of possibility and opportunity because we quite literally haven't been here before. And today I want to talk to you about the power of the reframe. You see, when it was that I was told that I needed to self-isolate, straight brain was totally confused because my definition of self-isolation was a choice that you were making to keep yourself separate. But I wasn't choosing that. And so I spent time, it kind of feels like a lot of time, trying to work out what did that actually mean for me. Because I had to live it and live through it. And so I had to find a way to define it for myself. And so I thought, do you know what? I'm not doing this self-isolation thing because isolation is that word. It's a punishment when you're in prison. It's the kind of thing that you do to children when it is that they are naughty. So I thought, okay, do you know what? I'm going to reframe it. Now, the context is still the same. I'm still in the house. I'm still not with people. I'm still not going out. But you know what? I'm on a retreat. Yep, you heard me right. I'm a retreat, and I've decided that I'm actually at the spa. And I went to a spa actually for my birthday in January. And it was that place to just kind of relax, reflect, refresh, and recharge. And I thought, do you know, this season that we are in, that actually if we could find a way to reframe it for ourselves, like for you, you may not see this as a retreat. You may not think of this as a time of being at the spa. But whatever it is for you, reframe it in a way that will enable you to be energized to move forward. Because that whole thing about, it's reflecting, because all of us are doing that, aren't you? You're reflecting on where it is that you have been, where it is that you are now, where it is that you would have liked to have been, where it is that you should have been, you could have been, all of those things. You're doing a lot of reflection. You're reflecting around your environment. There's lots of kind of thought going into that. That may not be how it is that you're framing it, but I'm saying that actually it's about reflection. And then the whole refreshing element, that refreshing is looking at, what do I have in my hand? Where can I give it a little bit of a polish? What stuff do I need to remove? Like, I'm sure that we are all doing that clear the clutter thing, that opportunity to clear out that cupboard. Those clothes that don't fit, you don't like. It's that opportunity to do that, refreshing your space, your environment, refreshing your mind, looking at the books you haven't read. That why are they on the bookshelves? There must have been some reason you had them in the first place, so maybe that's the time to look at that. Refreshing your thinking, that actually I am enough just as I am. So we're doing that in some shape or form for ourselves, whatever it is that means to you. And then the whole recharge, because I know that this isn't the end of the world. I know that there is going to be a time when the doors are open and we go back into the world, not the same as we were before, but back into the world. And we have to decide, what is that going to look like for us? Because we can't determine what it's going to look like for the world. We have no idea what the new world is going to look like or be, or how people are going to operate, or what it is that people are going to do. We have no idea. And people can predict it in lots of different ways. Some people will be right. Some people will be totally wrong. But what we can predict, if we're going to do predictions, what we can predict is how we are going to show up. And so this is a fantastic time to recharge those batteries. You know, like sometimes we've got devices, like I found some things that are definitely old, that aren't currently working because they need to be recharged. If you think about the fact that now we are beholden to technology, that without it, our world's become a lot smaller. And so we have to, on a daily basis, recharge our devices. And so if you think if we have to recharge our devices, what about us? What do you need to recharge you so that you can face each day with a fresh burst of energy, a fresh burst of enthusiasm? What do you need to recharge you? And then there's that immediate recharge, and then it's the recharge for the, you know, for want of a better term, the rebirth. You know, when it is that those doors open and you step outside, how do you want to step outside? And I don't mean necessarily in terms of size or in terms of shape, although I'm sure that for many of us that is a thing, but in terms of your mentality, your thinking, your skill set, your vision of yourself, your mission and your purpose. How do you want to show up in the world? And if that's how you want to show up, what are you doing now? What are you doing now to recharge yourself for that to be possible? It really is about reframing, about finding another way to look at things. Like, I've got a really great example. When I was in hospital and they told me that that I'd had a stroke, and the doctor said, you know, it's a bleed on the brain and it's a stroke, I said to the doctor, oh wow, that makes me in the top set, in the top percentile, because only 18% of all strokes are bleeds. So hey, I'm in the top set. To which he said, Carol, nobody thinks like that. But that was my reframe. That was an awful experience that I had to and have to walk through. But I thought, you know what? There's got to be another way of looking at this. There's got to be another way of kind of like refreshing this moment. It's a bit like, you know, on your computer, that when it is that the page is stuck, what you do is you press the refresh the screen or the program or whatever it is button so that it can start again. It starts again fresh without the glitches and whatever it was that the kind of the problems were. And I think that actually that's it. How do you refresh your screen for you? Because you know that I have my own brand of crazy going on. So I've got a particular way of looking at things and looking at the world. That's my way. That isn't necessarily your way. And it's not supposed to be. Your way is supposed to be your way. So you find your way to reframe your situation, your circumstance, so that it refreshes you and recharges you to keep going. Because the only way through this, and it is mentally as opposed to necessarily physically, is about that reframe. Because if we get caught up in the kind of the tragedy of the moment, if we get caught up with the fact that on a daily basis they are telling us just how terrible the situation is, that then becomes the world that we see everything through. Oh, Jacqueline just said, we view the world through our gifts. Yeah, that's a great one. In fact, I'm probably going to have a conversation about that one. It's we choose. We get to choose how it is that we navigate this. That we haven't dealt these hands to ourselves, and we have no control over the hands we are dealt. But you know what? We choose how we play the game. And in some respects, life really is that game. And so, come on. I'm challenging you to reframe your situation, and you decide what it is that this looks like, what it is that this means to you, and how you will then be energized from it. Because it's time. And in fact, at the moment, there's lots of time around us. Let's use it wisely. And look out for something, because I'm actually hosting a virtual retreat. Yeah, you heard me right. The 1st and 2nd of June. And I will post the information about that, because it is all about how do we value what it is that we already have in our hands, and look at how it is that we can package, repackage, reframe it, so that actually helps us move forward. And as we are blessed, that we are blessing others, because it's all about us. So it can be all about the people that we are here to serve. Guys, it's crappy, but you know what? In the midst of it all, oh, actually, that just reminded me of something. When it was that I had my first stroke, I spent a lot of time talking to myself. So I wasn't talking to anybody else. And I used the word shit a lot of times. And it really felt like one day, that I believe in God. So one day that God got a bit tired of hearing Carol say this, because even though I wasn't saying it to anybody else, he was hearing me loudly. And he actually pulled me to one side and said, shit is another word for manure. Manure is fertilizer, and it's all about growth. And I knew that that had to be God saying that, because there was no way that I was thinking about this as being a growth opportunity. And yet in this season now, it is a growth opportunity for all of us. And we get to choose how we grow. That's the thought for the day. You get to choose how you grow. Right. Okay. From my heart to yours, I'm sending you lots of love. Just go and be you, because the world is waiting for you.